Scotty. I was speaking with Byron Leftwich and Kevin Garver the other day about your touchdown at the end of the first half in the NFC Championship game, and they chalked that up to seeing something a play or two before that allowed you to be able to get open on that play. But I was wondering whether with the Buccaneers or in college or high school, you've ever noticed or seen that defenders maybe don't take into account how fast you are, that allows you to kind of blow past them on plays.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an element to consider. I think people underestimate my speed, but at the end of the day, I think at this point in my career and in college, I think if anyone's looking at their scouting report, I think they should know that I'm usually the speed guy on whatever team I'm on. So I'm guessing the Packers had a pretty good idea that that's what I do. I go deep. So I guess you could chalk it up a little bit to them not, expecting much out of me, but I think they probably had a good idea that I could run.
Next, we'll go over to Dan Wiederer of the Chicago Tribune.
Scotty, both BA and Kevin said that before that snap was even taken on that last play before halftime in the NFC Championship game, they knew it was going to be a touchdown. I'm wondering what you saw as you got lined up and kind of what was running through your brain as you sprinted free there.
Yeah, really we called just a go ball for me and Mike on the outside, and I initially thought it was just going to be like a Hail Mary type deal. There was 6 seconds left, I think, so I thought for sure, they were going to be a prevent, and I thought it was just going to be me going back there looking for a tip. I'm looking for a tip ball, but then when I saw the defense and they were in like a one high defense and the corner was probably like 8 yards off me, and as soon as the ball was snapped, he didn't get too much depth. He just kind of was in a slow kind of like a slow back pedal. So at that point I knew there's a chance that I could have a big play. And I just ran by him, and good thing Tom saw exactly what I saw and just put a great ball on me.
Next, we'll go over to Mike Berman of NBC Chicago.
Hey, Scotty, we talked to your parents the other day. That was great. Good peeps. For you personally, when you think about your journey from, being the lightly recruited guy at Barrington to where you are now playing for a Super Bowl, how would you even put that into words?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Underdog story, just kind of been doubted my whole life because of my size and other things as well. But I've just fought for it. I've earned everything I've gotten. It's been like that ever since youth football, ever since I started playing. I remember tackle football in 5th grade. I still, in my opinion, was probably the best guy out there. I'm always confident in my abilities and myself, even back then. But I was riding the bench even then. Coach didn't want to put me in. But every time I got an opportunity, I was able to make a play. And it's really been that whole way my whole life. So I just try to take advantage of every opportunity I've gotten. It's been an awesome journey. There's been some lows, there's been some highs, but I just try to take every day one day at a time and just work hard and try to maximize my potential.
All right, next we're going to go over to Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post.
Hey, Scotty, I just have a question. You've become a very reliable target for Tom, and I wonder if you've studied guys like Edelman and Welker and the guys that that were very dependable guys. I know you play a different role than those guys, but if you see any kind of similarities in terms of the trust and whatnot that Tom has in you.
Yeah, those guys are tremendous players. They did a great job with Tom. I remember even more so in college. I played more in the slot in college, so I remember like trying to get my video guy to put stuff on my iPad so I can watch guys like Edelman, like Welker, Amendola, Cole Beasley, like those type of guys, because that was like the more role I was in, around the option routes and stuff like that. But obviously those guys did a great job developing that trust with Tom. That's something that I've tried to do, and I'm continuing to try and have him trust me on every single play, that I know exactly where I'm going to be. I'm going to win, and then I'm going to make the play on the ball. So I think that's a key piece with any quarterback, just getting on the same page and having him believe in you.
All right, next we'll go over to Grace Remington of Channel 10.
Hey, Scotty. I have a follow-up too, if you don't mind. I heard a story that your phone background was the guys who were ranked all MAC before you. I was wondering if that's still the case.
That's not the case anymore. that was true. That was the background, but now it is my wife. And she was a gymnast, so it's one of her pictures. So when she was a gymnast at Rutgers. So I think that's more pleasant to look at now than the 4 guys that were ahead of me.
I'm sure she appreciates that too. So, how long was that, the phone background? Because I think that was 2018, if I looked it up correctly. I was wondering if you still remember who was on that list before you.
Yeah, I think it was Deontay Johnson, who's doing great now in the league. Anthony Johnson, who was actually here with me last year, one of my good buddies. I think Poppy White was another one from Ohio, and then Cody Thompson, possibly from Toledo as well. I think those were the 4. I could be wrong. But that was really motivating for me. I was really disappointed and just shocked when I found out I was second team All-MAC my senior year. I had a great year. I had more yards than everyone, averaged more. Everything I did, like statistically, was better. So I just really couldn't wrap my head around it. But that just kept me motivated. That's just another. I've always been doubted, so that just kept me going every single day.
All right, next question will be from Nick Piotrowicz from the Toledo Blade.
Hey, Scotty, how you doing?
What's up, Nick? How you doing?
Hey, I remember talking to you this time 2 years ago. It was like a laundry list of things you did not get invited to: the Senior Bowl, the Combine. You weren't getting a ton of interest from agents. Has the timeline of this been surreal to you, that this is only 2 years later and here you are with this team in this game?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it was crazy. No Senior Bowl, no Combine. Those are 2 also things that I thought I was deserving to get, but didn't. And like you said, agents, I had like 2 agents that were offering me anything. So I'm just so thankful to Justin Turner that he's given me this opportunity. But yeah, it's crazy, but I've always had confidence in myself that I could get it done, that I could be here. But for all this stuff that happened around me, be on a great team with Tom and everybody and be heading to the Super Bowl, it's wild. It's been a wild ride. So it's just been an exciting couple of years.
We'll take the next question from Harold Kuntz of Fox 4.
Hey, Scott. Hope you're doing well. 2 quick questions for you. One, Bruce Arians just talked about you, and he said that you think 20 weeks into the season, you think there would be some respect for your speed. Just what do you think about Bruce Arians' comments there? Do you feel that people disrespect your speed a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm very confident in my speed. I think I can run with anybody, anywhere. So I think I should start getting more respect for what I do on Sundays, but it is what it is. I can't control that. I just go out there and try to make plays when my number's called.
All right, and next question, we will go over to Jordan Strapp.
Hey, Scotty. I was looking back at the video from your pro day at BGSU. What do you remember about that day, first of all? And then second of all, what was your relationship like with Sean Lewis when he was recruiting you? Because he was really, I think, probably the only D1 guy that was actually talking to you. What do you remember about those 2 things?
Yeah, pro day was a big day for me. Like we said, I didn't receive an invite to the Combine. But then I remember I met with Coach Garver, my receiver coach, the night before. I was just really nervous because I had a bunch of guys that go to the Combine, go to these bowl games, and get to meet with these coaches. But it was my only one I had. And I remember him quizzing me on plays and me just being so nervous and not knowing anything. And then that night, he also told me that Byron was going to be coming to my pro day. So I'm like, what? I got an OC coming. So just crazy. But I'm just so thankful that I ended up here with these 2 coaches that believed in me. And just so glad that I get to come work for them every single day. And then Coach Lewis, the only Bowling Green is the only FBS offer I got coming out of high school. I thought I played pretty well, thought I had good tape, but for some reason, just no one wanted me, except for Coach Lewis and Coach Baver. So those 2 guys, just a ton of credit to them for how I got to where I am today. I only got to play for them for 1 year. I wish I got to play for them and learn from them and play in their system longer in college. But yeah, just huge credit for them to believing in me, and they're both doing great now at Syracuse and Kent State. So just 2 awesome guys. I'm thankful that they believed in me.
Take the next question from, sorry, he just disappeared, Dave Burkett.
Hey, Scotty, appreciate the time today. Wanted to ask you about another coach, actually, Antoine Randall, just sort of I'm up here in Detroit. He's got a chance, obviously, to have a new job after the Super Bowl. But what has he meant for your development, and specifically, what areas has he helped you with?
Yeah, he's been huge. Coach L is a great coach, even a better person. Really, just brings so much energy. Christian guy just brings so much to our room that we all appreciate. And as far as on the field, he's done it. Kev, it's a great combination between Coach Garver and Coach L. Kev's so good schematically, showing us the plays and why we run what we run. And then Coach L is good at that as well, but he's also been in the receiver position in the league, so he helps us with technique and stuff like that. He's helped me a bunch with getting off press coverage, getting in and out of your routes, stuff like that. Just so much that he's done. And I'm very fortunate to, first of all, have all the guys in my room to learn from, but then those two guys at the helm.
Our next will be Doug Kide from NESN.
Hey, Scotty. When was the first time that you met Tom Brady, and what was that interaction like?
First time was this summer at Berkeley High School. That's where we held a couple of workouts with a couple of the guys. I remember CG had texted me then the day before and said, "Hey, Tom's in town. He wants to throw with me, you, and Cam, I think it was." So when I got that text, I was like, "Oh man, that's crazy." Just not being able to really sleep the night before, just couldn't believe I was going to work out with Tom Brady. But when I met him, it was great. He's a super humble guy, super easy, makes it easy, even though he's one of the most famous guys out there. So it's just great working with him, great work ethic, and he's going to get the most out of you.
Our next question will come from Robert Mays of The Athletic.
What's up, Scotty?
What's up, man?
How you doing? I wanted to ask you if you had to kind of characterize what you've taken from Coach Sanchez from all these years later, what would you say it is?
Yeah, Coach Sanchez has meant a ton to me. He actually just was at our last game against the Falcons with his whole family. And that's really what family has been the one thing he preached throughout my 4 years at Barrington, which is everything off the field that I think he's helped me become a better man. Just so thankful for my relationship with him. He's always texting me, calling me, checking in on me. So one of my biggest supporters, one of my biggest fans. And he's just, I'm so appreciative of all his support along with his family.
All right, we'll take the next question from Nick Jacobs of KSHB.
Scott, as I'm sure you know, your statement has been making the rounds from the Dan Patrick Show. I'm curious for you, what do you think people underestimate you and your speed so much, and when do you want to race Tyreek?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I guess I should have known that statement was going to blow up more than it did. I was asked a question, just tried to give an answer. I haven't really gotten anywhere not being confident in myself in this profession or in life, really. So just answer that question confidently and just say what I thought. But there's no disrespect. I have so much respect for Tyreek Hill and everything he's done. And really, he's a guy I aspire to be like, a smaller receiver that's turned himself into really one of the best receivers in the league. So I'm hoping to have a similar career to him. But I would love to race him, see who's faster. He's, like I said on the show, he's unbelievably fast, world-class speed. But I'll never turn down a challenge. I'd love to race him and let the best man win.
All right, next we'll go to Dan Weeder from Chicago Tribune.
Scotty, when you think back to your previous stops, what's the biggest play you think you made at Barrington High School? What's the biggest play you think you made in college?
Oh, wow. In high school, I would probably say we played Maine South the second round of the playoffs. I think it was my senior year, and I had a kick return for a touchdown. And the reason I would pick, it was nothing crazy, nothing too special, but the reason I would say that is because after that game, we're playing a really good team, and I had that big play and a couple other big plays. And then right after that game, I got a call from Sean Lewis, and he offered me a scholarship to Bowling Green. So maybe that had something to do with it, maybe it didn't, but that was a special day. And then in college, biggest play would definitely be against Oregon, game one of my senior year. I had probably Jared Deggy was our quarterback, probably threw me like a 50-yard touchdown at the beginning of the second half. So I think that kind of put me on the map because I didn't get much respect doing what I was doing in the MAC, but to do it on the big stage helped.
All right, Scotty, just an update for you. We got about 15 minutes left. The next question will come from John Ackerman.
Hey, Scotty. Saw your press conference after the NFC Championship game, how you wanted to give glory to your Lord and Savior. Can you tell us more about your faith in God and where that comes from and how you live it out?
Yeah, it's a great question. My faith means so much to me. I was brought up in a Christian household. I was fortunate to grow up that way. My parents really instilled those values in me. We started a couple of churches with family and stuff like that. But it's just really important to me. Without God, without Jesus coming down, dying on the cross for our sins, none of this would be possible. So I just like to give him thanks as much as I can in the media. I got a great platform. So if everyone can know that I believe that I'm saved because Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins, and I believe that, then I think that's the most important thing.
All right, next we'll take a question from Mark Canizaro.
Yeah, Scotty, just on the other side of the ball, I'm curious what your impression is of Tyran Mathieu and just the way that he's used and just the unpredictability that he presents.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal player, great talent out of LSU. A guy we've been scouting a lot. Obviously, he moves around for him, can do a lot of different things well, can cover, can tackle, covers a lot of different positions as well. He's also like their alert guy a lot when they're in man coverage. So just a ball hawk and a guy that we'll definitely try and be aware of where he's at all times. I remember being a fan of him, and he was a big playmaker at LSU. So to be playing against him is just pretty cool.
All right, next up will be Nate Davis from USA Today.
Hey, Scotty, I just kind of wanted to ask you about the first time you met Tom Brady and maybe how it was different than what you expected, or how it was, how you expected. Just what's been different about him aside from the rings and the numbers and all that. What's been like?
I would say he's just a normal guy. We all look at him as his figure. Growing up watching him every Sunday, and just him being the greatest football player of all time. But when you really get to talk to him, get to meet him, he's just a normal guy. But he's an elite football player, an elite leader. And I've just been his leadership skills are just unbelievable, unmatched, and I think that's the reason why he's been to, I think this is his 10th Super Bowl, going for 7 rings. So he's just a great guy, and just a humble guy.
All right, next we'll go over to James Wilson from Sky Sports.
Hi, Scotty. You mentioned about Tyreek just a little earlier. Beyond his speed, what is it about his game that you particularly respect?
He's extremely quick as well, not just straight line speed. And then I would say his ball skills. I think people sleep on his ball skills down the field, catch any ball over the shoulder, but he can also go up and get it. And then just run after the catch. I mean, the things we see every Sunday from him are just tremendous. He's a game breaker. Hopefully we can keep him under wraps this Sunday. But he's always fun to watch. I love after we play on Sundays, usually he's got highlights that I enjoy watching. So he's just a great player, electric player.
All right, next we'll go over to Andrew Kaufman.
Hey, Scotty. I'm with KMIZ TV. We're based out of Columbia, Missouri. We cover a lot of Mizzou football. I'm curious what it's like having Blaine Gabbert as your teammate, and kind of what he means to your guys' team.
Oh, it's great. Blaine's probably one of my better friends on the team. Blaine's a great guy, brings a lot of energy, a lot of excitement every single day when we come in the building. So it's just been he's also a great leader. He brings a lot to the table. I think he helps the quarterback room a lot. I think this is his 10th year in the league. A lot of experience, been in a lot of different offenses, been with BA a bunch as well. So he brings a lot, and also really talented. I think he kind of had a rough start to his career just because of the circumstances he was in Jacksonville. And I think it was a lockout year when he first came in, but unbelievable talent. And if he was in the game, I think all of us would have full trust in him to play at a very high level.
All right, next question, we will go up to Chris Ryan.
Hey, Scotty, hope all is well with you. Congrats on the Super Bowl. At what point, in Brady's time in Tampa, did you know that this destination was a probable reality, if you will? Was it as soon as he signed? Was it the Atlanta game? At what point did you feel that this was a Super Bowl team? Did he provide that instant credibility upon signing, or did it take some time?
I think right away. We knew he had such good pieces. From every position we got on the depth chart, we pretty much got a star somewhere. So we're loaded at every position. Now we got him at the helm as our leader. You can't ask for a better leader. So I think as soon as he signed, we all knew that this was a possibility. But we knew it was going to take a lot of work, especially with the shortened off season, with him coming in with Gronk, a bunch of new pieces. But we put in the work in every day. There's been parts of the season where it was rough, and then there's been obviously great parts as well, like right now. But we just worked through it all, and we're just happy to be at this point. But we got one more to go.
All right, the next question will come from Paulo Antunes from ESPN.
Scotty, how are you, man?
Good.
I'm wondering, what has Tom Brady's presence meant for you this year? Is there a different swagger about the wide receiver group just having Tom Brady on the team? And how have you evolved as a wide receiver with Brady as your quarterback?
Yeah, I think so. I think we all walk around with confidence, knowing that we got him on our side. We got the GOAT on our side for sure. I think also he makes it so easy for us. And we do a bunch of extra meetings. He makes sure everyone's on the same page which allows us to go out there and play with confidence, because we know all the audibles, if you will, or all the alerts we have. And we know what we're going to do. And we all have the talent to go out there and make plays if we know where we're going and how to execute correctly. And what was your second question?
Hold on, I need to let him unmute real quick.
Okay.
Go ahead, Pablo.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, no, I was just wondering if the swagger part, it just seems like, when Tom Brady comes to teams, it seems like people just carry themselves differently. Have you felt a change in that aspect?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we have more confidence going to each and every game. Then we have a better chance to win. Tom wins a lot of games, and so we expect to win alongside of him. So it's just been, I'd say definitely there's been some added swagger.
Our next question will come from Michael Lavery.
Hi, Scott. Can you hear me?
Michael, we can barely hear you. Can you speak up, please?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Scott, what would it mean to you personally to win the Super Bowl?
Personally, to win the Super Bowl, it would mean a ton. This is a dream to even be in this position. I remember watching these games every Sunday, whenever in February on Sunday that it would come with family or with friends at a party. And just to be in this game means so much. This is what you work so hard for, to be on the big stage. And we get to do it at home. So it's just, it's amazing. And it's going to mean so much. It's going to take me back to all the hours I put in. It's going to take me back to all the people that have helped me get to where I am today. So that would be an awesome feeling.
All right, now we'll go over to Jordan Strack.
Have you had a chance to sit and think about the difference between playing a Tuesday night inside the Doit as opposed to where you're about to play? And have you had a chance to sit back and appreciate where you're at this point?
Yeah, I think the Madison days might actually help me out a little bit this year. Playing with no fans, I'm actually quite used to that. Playing on Tuesday nights, freezing cold, no fans in the stands, so got used to that. But yeah, it's crazy going from that to now playing in the Super Bowl in front of the whole world with Tom Brady as our quarterback. So just a crazy difference in the last two years, but it's gonna be fun.
All right, the next question will come from Joey Redmond.
Hey, Scotty, just wondering if you could let me know a little bit about the detail behind the difference in the learning curve between a Jameis Winston offense and a Tom Brady offense.
Yeah, I think we still kept the basics of our offense that BA has and that Byron has, but I think Tom just brought a couple different elements from New England and stuff like that is just kind of maybe taking us to the next level. I think between his knowledge and BA's knowledge too, unbelievable, so much knowledge right there. Just combining those two have just made us a pretty tough team to stop. We got answers to a lot of things. So yeah.
All right, next up we'll go to Thomas Heyerdahl from TV3.
Thanks so much. I was wondering, the bye week was very late, but was that perfect for you guys? And did you seem like you kind of found something after that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was late, but I think it was at the perfect time for I think everyone's bodies was kind of starting to break down. So physically, I think it was big for us to get an extra week to heal up. But then really offensively, it was big. We kind of AB had just got here, I think, a couple of weeks previously. So we had a bunch of new pieces, and we're still figuring things out with the guys that we originally had. So to really like take a step back and watch games that we had previously, help us everyone kind of get on the same page. And then we really haven't looked back since the second half of that Falcons game. Our offense has been pretty solid. So and I think we still have so much room to grow. We still are a new team with new pieces. So we're just hoping to keep getting better each and every day.
The next question will come from Patrick Finley of the Chicago Sun-Times.
Hey, Scotty, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, tell me about the Barrington Broncos. I want a scouting report on a young you and a young Cole Kmet.
Yeah. Well, Cole played at Viter, as you probably know. He didn't play at Barrington, but I did play with him growing up in the youth league. I think he's like 2 years younger than me in school, something like that. But he was always much bigger. He's always a giant growing up, bigger than everybody. So he played up with the older guys. And Cole was always a great player. He played line, but he was always so athletic. But he was just bigger than everybody, so he really had no choice but to play O-line and D-line. So I think it was just awesome to play with him, and then crazy to see us now. I got a picture with him before we played them in Chicago. Just crazy to see we both made it to this point, seeing where we come from. I think we were both on when I play with him, there's like 3 levels to football. In the youth program, there's like a Big Ten team, which is the best, a Mac 10 team, which is the middle, and a Pac-10 team. I think I played with him 2 years, the Pac-10 team and the Mac 10 team. So that just shows you both kind of underdog guys that ended up making it.
All right, next we will go over to Matt Birch of the Sports Daily.
Hey, Scotty, you said you'd take yourself over Tyreek Hill in a foot race, and he seems like the type of player motivated by that type of talk. He racked up 203 yards in the first quarter the last time you guys squared off. So are you worried you've given him some bulletin board material?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he could take that statement. They could take that statement any way they want to. But at the end of the day, I didn't mean any disrespect by it. I gave him his credit. I said he's an unbelievable talent, unbelievably fast, unbelievably quick. But I'm never going to – if you ever anybody ask me, hey, do you think you're faster than somebody? The answer is going to be yes, because I have belief in myself. I have confidence in myself. Speed is one thing I'm very passionate about. So yeah.
All right, that's all we got time for today. Appreciate your time, Scotty.
Yep. Thanks, guys.